don't know how to explain it, but there's something about this part of the year that just does something to you. Something quiet, something you didn't plan for, something you didn't ask for. Just wake up one day and something feels different, lighter, or maybe warmer. Not the weather necessarily, because here in Montreal it's still cold. As you can see, I'm wearing a jacket. But something inside you shifts. And I've been sitting with that feeling for the past few days, trying to figure out what it is. And I think it is just hope, quietly arriving like it always does with spring. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tinaverse. My name is Tina, your favorite Ghanaian girl living in Montreal, and today we are doing something a little different. There's no lists, no tips, no structure really. It's just me talking to you about this season and the feeling that it carries. Because I think a lot of us are feeling something right now, and maybe we just need someone to name it. So let's talk. Pull up a chair, make yourself a cup of tea, and let's sit in this together for a while. I grew up in Ghana, and in Ghana there are just two seasons, the rainy season and the dry season. But the sun is just there all year round. Warmth is always just there. You don't experience the world going away and coming back. It just stays, that constant, reliable warmth. So when I moved and I experienced my first real winter and my first real spring, something happened to me that I didn't really expect. I felt it. I genuinely felt the shifts, and I understood for the first time why people write poems about spring, why artists paint it, why it shows up in many songs and stories across many cultures and centuries. Because there's nothing quite like watching the world deciding to come back to life. The trees that looked completely bare and grey during winter, if you look closely right now, there are tiny bats on them, just sitting there patient like they were always planning to come back, and that they just needed a little more time. The days are getting longer, the lights are getting later, and the sky has a different quality to it. It's past 6 p.m. but look at how sunny and bright the day is. It just feels softer somehow, or should I say gentler. And even in Montreal, where it is still cold and the flowers haven't fully shown up yet, you can still see that there is something blooming, something gathering itself, like the world is taking a deep breath before it exhales into color. And I find that so beautiful. I find that almost emotional, honestly, that every single year, without fail, after all that grey and cold and dark, life comes back. It always comes back. There's an interesting thing that happens to people in spring, and I've noticed it here in Montreal more than anywhere else. Maybe that's because the winter here is so intense that when spring arrives, the people here feel it in their whole bodies. Strangers start making eye contact again. People walk a little slower, like they really want to be outside. You'd see someone just sitting on their front steps. They are just sitting there, not on their phones, not rushing. Just sitting in the first bits of warmth, eyes closed, face up to the sun, and you completely understand because you also want to do the same thing. You would notice that now I even record my videos outside because I feel it's therapeutic. We've been wanting to be outside for several months. There's also this collective exhale that happens. It's like the whole city is breathing out at the same time. And I think what spring does, what it has always done, is to constantly remind us that we are not separate from the world around us. We feel what the earth feels. When things are dark and cold and closed off, we can feel that too, even if we are not able to name it in that way. When things start to open up and warm up and come alive, we feel that as well, naturally, almost without trying. You'll notice that when spring arrives, you suddenly want to rearrange your room, or call someone you've always been meaning to call, or start something you've quietly been thinking about, not because anyone told you to, but just because the air changed. The lights changed, and something in you responded. I love that about us, that we are connected to the world around us, even if we don't realize it. If I could write a spring letter, I think I would write something like this. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for showing up every year, even when we stopped paying attention. For not needing us to be ready for you. You just come anyway, quietly, and without a fuss. And you bring color with you and warmth with you, and this particular quality of light that exists nowhere else and at no other time of the year. Thank you for the flowers that push through the ground, even when it's still cold. Not dramatic about it, not announcing themselves. Just here, growing because that's what they do. Thank you for the longer evenings, for the way 6 p.m. starts to look golden instead of dark, for giving us back the feeling that there's still time in the day, time in the lights, time to just be somewhere and not rush home into the dark. Thank you for the feeling, that quiet, unnamed, particular feeling of spring. The one that is hard to put into words, but that every human being in every part of the world, across every culture that has seasons, seems to recognize. That feeling that something good is coming. That feeling of being alive in a way that feels new, even though you've always been alive. That feeling that is not quite joy and not quite peace, but somewhere in between. Somewhere soft and warm and full of possibility. That feeling is a gift, and it comes every year, and I'm grateful for it. I don't know exactly where you are right now, in your life, in your feelings, in your seasons, but I hope that wherever you are, you can feel it too. That quiet shift, that soft arrival, that sense that something new is opening up. Spring is here, and I brought something with it. I hope you let yourself feel it. Drop your comments and let me know how spring makes you feel. Even if it's one word, I just want to know. Give this video a thumbs up if it gave you something to think about. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'll see you in my next one. It's bye for now. Mwah.